What if I told you that what you call coincidence is not an accident at all, but a language, a quiet and precise dialogue between your cells, your emotions, and the vast field of life that surrounds you? For many, synchronicity feels like a strange visit, an unexpected meet, a repeated number, a phrase that arrives at the perfect time. Yet beneath the surface of these moments lies a truth far deeper than luck, a truth that is not random, not external, not detached from. Synchronicity is not an echo from the outside world. It is the mirror of the vibration you are already carrying within. Most people carry a hidden pain when they think about these signs. They treat them as if they were messages sent from an unreachable place, something that happens beyond their control, a blessing that appears only to the chosen few. And because of this, they wait. They wait for life to show them something, to guide, to prove to them that their journey has meaning. In this waiting, they feel powerless. They feel as though life is happening outside of them, while they remain in the shadow, hoping that the universe will finally notice. Perhaps you too have felt this, as though the magic belongs to others, while you are left with silence. Bruce Lipton teaches us that this silence is not absence, it is program. Every belief you carry, every story repeated in your childhood, every unspoken fear has been recorded in your subconscious. And your subconscious, which directs 95% of your daily life, does not simply sit within your mind. It lives in your very cells. Each cell projects an electromagnetic pattern that shapes how reality organizes itself around you. This means that synchronicity is not merely a sign sent from above. It is the resonance between your inner program and the field of possibilities around you. Life does not just happen to you, it reorganizes itself through you. Joe Dispenza adds another layer: the coherence of heart and brain. When the rhythm of your heart aligns with the clarity of your thoughts, your body becomes a living magnet. This is not poetry, it is physics. Your heart generates the strongest electromagnetic field in your body, and when it is synchronized with the brain, it radiates coherence into the world. Synchronicity, then, is not random. It is feedback. It is life showing you whether you are in alignment with your higher potential. When you are aligned, doors open, people appear, opportunities unfold. When you are fragmented, synchronicities reveal delay, confusion, repetition. Think of a radio. To hear music clearly, you must tune into the exact frequency of the station. Turn the dial just slightly off, and the sound becomes static. Your subconscious works in the same way. It tunes into frequencies, and those frequencies attract events, people, and signs that match. What you call coincidence is nothing more than your internal station finding its external song. If your programming is filled with fear, you will tune into coincidences that confirm fear. If your programming vibrates faith and readiness, synchronicity becomes a bridge to your true potential. And yet, I know the hidden questions that arise in your heart. Perhaps you feel exhausted from trying to create change, only to see life remain the same. Perhaps you look at the signs and wonder if they are real, or if they are just tricks of your imagination. Maybe you carry the silent weight of grief, illness, or separation, and synchronicity feels like a promise that never comes true. In these moments, it is easy to doubt. It is easy to believe that life is indifferent, that the universe is silent, that it is already too late. But I want you to know this: you are not forgotten. The signs you see, even the smallest ones, are whispers from your own consciousness. They are reminders that your inner state is always speaking, always shaping, always calling. So the next time a synchronicity appears in your path, pause. Do not rush to interpret it as destiny or luck. Instead, ask yourself, what within me is this event reflecting? What belief, what vibration, what emotion is being mirrored back to me? Because synchronicity is not a message written in the stars. It is a mirror held up to your soul. And in that mirror lies a simple but profound invitation to awake, to align, to remember that your true potential is not hidden somewhere outside, waiting to be found. It is already inside, waiting to be radiant. Tell me, have you ever experienced a coincidence so precise, so perfect, that it felt as though the universe was speaking directly to you? If so, that was not chance. That was your own consciousness in dialogue with creation itself. And if you have been waiting for proof that you are not alone, that your path has meaning, that your potential is still alive, let this moment be the sign. You are not just walking through life. You are weaving cell by cell, thought by thought, heart by heart, the silent error, waiting for synchronicity instead of creating. There is a subtle but powerful error that many souls fall into when they hear about synchronicity. It is the belief that signs are something to wait, as if the universe were a distant messenger that, at some unpredictable moment, might send a signal to rescue them from confusion. And so, countless people live in a quiet state of waiting for confirmation, waiting for permission, waiting for something greater than themselves to say, now you are ready. But in this waiting, they are not neutral. They are vibrating in doubt, in fear, in the energy of delay. And synchronicity, which only mirrors what is radiant, can only echo back the same vibration of postpone. Perhaps you know this sensation, the inner dialogue that whispers, I'll know when the universe shows me a sign. I'll begin when I feel the right moment arrives. I'll take the step when I receive confirmation. On the surface, it looks like fate, but beneath, it often hides fear. Fear of not being ready, fear of choosing wrongly, fear of stepping into life without a guarantee. And so, day after day, the mirror of synchronicity reflects back the same message. You are not ready. Life waits because you wait. Bruce Lipton reminds us that by the age of 7, most of our subconscious programs are already written. These programs, many of which carry the imprint of limitation, rejection, or self-doubt, filter 95% of our perception. This means that if the underlying program is, I am not prepared, or it's not the right time, then the synchronicities that appear will align perfectly with that vibration. Opportunities will seem delayed, signs will circle back to uncertainty, and the outer reality will echo the inner hesitation. What feels like destiny withholding its hand is often nothing more than your subconscious reflecting back its script. Here lies the truth that many resist at first. Synchronicity does not arrive. It does not knock on your door carrying instruction. It does not fall upon you like an external blessing. It is a mirror, and a mirror cannot show what you do not radiate. If your vibration is ready, synchronicity will echo back readiness. If your vibration is waiting, it will echo waiting. Life does not choose on your behalf. It reflects your choice. Think of a quiet lake at dawn. You sit by the shore, staring into the stillness, hoping to see ripped waves, a sign that life is alive, but nothing stirs because you have not touched the water. You may wait for hours, and the surface will remain calm. Yet the moment you throw a single stone, even the smallest, the water responds immediately. Waves ripple out, reaching farther than you might expect. Synchronicity behaves in the same way. It does not move without your movement. It does not ripple without your vibration. This is why so many feel trapped in cycles of delay. They long for transformation, but secretly believe it depends on something outside. They pray for a sign, while carrying the subconscious conviction that they are not yet worthy of receiving. They walk through life waiting for the lake to move, without realizing that their hand has been holding the stone all along. To awaken from this silent error, one must gently begin to notice the waiting beliefs that live within, those quiet, hidden thoughts that postpone joy. I'll be happy when I find the right partner. I'll feel complete when my health is restored. I'll trust myself when the universe shows me the way. Each of these thoughts sends out a vibration of delay. Each tells light, not yet, and light, ever faithful, reflects back, not yet. The turning point comes when you begin to radiate readiness, not as an act of impatience, but as an act of presence. The mirror of synchronicity responds to presence. It answers movement. No matter how small, the step you take today, however uncertain, sends ripples across the field. And those ripples attract the corresponding signs, people, and openings. It is not waiting that opens the door, it is movement. I wonder if you can sense, even now, where in your life you have been waiting for waves without touching the wall, where you have mistaken hesitation for faith and delay for divine timing. There is no judgment in this recognition, only clarity, only the quiet reminder that synchronicity cannot precede your vibration, it can only follow. And in this awareness, something shifts. You realize that the universe has never been silent. It has only been waiting for you to move, so it could echo back your readiness. When your frequency betrays your desire, there are moments when the heart cries out for change, and the lips form prayers of longing. Yet life seems unmoved, almost indifferent. You may ask for freedom, for healing, for love, for expansion. But if beneath those words, your body still vibrates with fear, with guilt, with attachment to struggle, then what is sent into the field is not your desire, it is your frequency. And synchronicity, faithful as a mirror, will not reflect your words, but your vibration. This is why so many feel trapped in paradox. They want new beginnings, but life keeps repeating the old. They ask for open door, but only encounter delay. They affirm abundance, yet scarcity seems to echo back from every corner. The truth is not that their desires are unheard, but that their desires are contradicted by the emotional baseline they unconsciously radiate. Life does not confuse itself. It simply reflects coherence. If your desire says one thing and your vibration says another, it is the vibration affirmation that wins. Bruce Lipton explains this with profound clarity. Each cell in your body responds to its environment. When the environment within you is one of survival, when cortisol floods your system, when your nervous system is locked in defense, then your biology contracts. In this state, your cells are not available for growth, for expansion, for creation. And so, even if your mind is asking for freedom, your body is radiating the opposite. The frequency of survival overrides the intention of desire. Synchronicity, then, becomes the feedback. It is not a confirmation of what you consciously want. It is the reflection of what you unconsciously embody. And this is why the signs that appear in your life may sometimes feel like betrayal. You pray for breakthrough, but encounter more obstacles. You long for love, but attract people who mirror your wounds. You ask for peace, but the world answers with chaos. These are not punishments. They are revelations. They are life showing with precision the state from which you are vibrating. The shift begins with awareness so simple it might be overlooked. Before you make a decision, before you take a step, pause and ask yourself, am I acting from survival or from creation? This small inquiry is not about judgment. It is about chemistry. When you act from survival, cortisol governs your cells. Contraction becomes your state, and synchronicity mirrors struggle. When you act from creation, dopamine and oxytocin flow through your system. Expansion opens in your biology, and synchronicity mirrors possibility. The choice of state is the choice of frequency, and the choice of frequency is the choice of future. Picture yourself at a keyboard. You type the word freedom, but the caps lock is stuck on fear. No matter what you try to write, the system will only recognize the dominant signal. You can repeat the word 1,000 times, but until the signal changes, the output will always betray the intention. This is the invisible tension that so many feel, the heartbreak of believing that life is ignoring their desire, when in truth, life is faithfully responding to the stronger signal within them. Perhaps you have felt this heartbreak, the exhaustion of repeating affirmations while nothing changes, the ache of praying for guidance, only to meet silence, the quiet suspicion that maybe you are not worthy, that maybe transformation belongs to others, but not to you. If this is your pain, know this: you are not alone. Countless souls carry the same unspoken doubt, but the truth is not that you are unworthy. It is that your frequency and your desire have been out of alignment. And here is the hope that flows like light through the cracks. Alignment is always possible. Your body can be trained, your heart can be tuned. Your cells can be taught to resonate with creation instead of survival. Synchronicity is not absent. It is waiting for coherence. The moment your inner state becomes a match to your longing, life responds with the signs, the people, and the moments that carry you forward. Can you feel even now the subtle invitation in this truth? Life is not against you. It has never been against you. It has only been echoing the frequency you emit. And the mirror of synchronicity will continue to show you exactly what you carry until the day you radiate the vibration of your desire. When that day comes, the alignment is unmistakable. Doors open, paths clear. What once felt delayed becomes inevitable, because when frequency and desire meet, creation can no longer be postponed. The invisible pattern. Why synchronicities? Repeat until you reprogram. There are moments when life seems to speak in repetition. The same numbers appear again and again on clocks, receipts, or license plates. The same phrases echo in conversations with different people. The same types of relationships arrive, wearing different faces, but carrying the same lessons. Many interpret these repetitions as destiny, as if the universe were insisting on guiding them toward a fixed path. Yet, often, these repeated synchronicities are not confirmations of fate, but reflections of stagnation. They reveal that something within has not yet shifted, that an inner program continues to radiate the same frequency into the field. This can feel confusing, even cruel. You notice the same sign 3 times in a week and wonder if it means you should proceed, if it is a cosmic yes to your question. But consider this: if your subconscious remains programmed with the same unresolved belief, then the mirror of synchronicity has no choice but to echo that belief back again and again. The repetition is not destined. It is feedback. It is the reflection of a loop that has not yet been broken. Bruce Lipton reminds us that the biology of our cells, as well as the wiring of our neural pathways, tends to repeat familiar patterns until they are consciously interrupted. This is the nature of survival. The brain conserves energy by repeating what is known, even if what is known creates suffering. And the subconscious, which holds these imprints, faithfully radiates them into the field. As long as the program remains intact, Synchronicities will circle back, carrying the same message in different disguises. Imagine a GPS recalculating your route over and over. If you do not change direction, the system cannot offer a new path. It will keep guiding you along the same road, repeating the same instructions until you finally take a different turn. Synchronicity works in the same way. Until you interrupt the inner script, life will continue to mirror the same outer symbol, not as punishment, but as a call to recognize the loop. Perhaps you have felt this cycle in your own life, falling into similar relationships that echo the same wound, encountering the same obstacles in different jobs, hearing the same words at the very moment you thought you had moved beyond. It can feel as though life itself is conspiring to trap. But beneath this repetition lies an invitation to pause, to see clearly, and to ask what belief is still being mirrored. This recognition requires gentleness. Too often, people approach their repeated synchronicities with frustration, interpreting them as signs that they are failing or that life is withholding blessings. But repetition is not condemnation, it is precision. It shows you exactly where your inner work is called. The same number on the clock may not be a prophecy, but a mirror saying something within you has not yet shifted. The practice of interruption begins with awareness. When the same synchronicity repeats, pause long enough to ask, what is this reflecting? What have I not yet changed? What behaved, belief, or emotion continues to radiate the same signal? By tracing the mirror back to the source, loosen the hold of the pattern. And when you finally choose different, when you respond from creation rather than survival, the loop breaks, GPS recalculates, the mirror shifts, new synchronicities appear, carrying new messages that match your new vibration. It is in these moments that you realize life has never been silent. The universe has never abandoned. The repetition was never punishment. It was a mirror, faithfully reflecting the program within until you were ready to rewrite. And when you do, something remarkable happens. The repeated signs that once circled endlessly begin to dissolve, and in their place, new synchronicities emerge. Ones that open doors, ones that confirm your expansion, ones that lead you beyond what you thought was possible. The invisible pattern has shifted because you have shifted, and in that shift, the mirror of life reveals a path you could not see before. Synchronicity as biofeedback, proof that belief, reprogramming works. One of the most persistent doubts in the human heart is whether the inner work we do, the prayers whispered in silence, the affirmations spoken each morning, the meditations practiced with discipline, truly shapes the world outside. It is easy to believe that these efforts remain locked inside the mind, unseen and without effect. And so, when synchronicities appear, many dismiss them as coincidence, as if they were random sparks with no real connection to their transformation. Yet, synchronicity is far more than coincidence. It is biofeedback. It is life itself offering proof that the invisible shifts within you are already reorganizing the field around you. Bruce Lipton's work in epigenetics reveals that our beliefs are not powerless thoughts floating in the mind. They alter the expression of our genes. They determine whether cells live in contraction or expansion, whether our biology vibrates in fear or in growth. When a belief changes, the chemical environment of the body changes. And when the body changes, the electromagnetic field it radiates into space also changes. This field, though invisible, is constantly interacting with the field of life around. Synchronicity becomes the visible echo of this invisible exchange. Joe Dispenza expands this vision with the science of heart-brain coherence. When the heart and mind are in alignment, the body radiates an electromagnetic field measurable at several feet beyond the skin. This field is not static, it is dynamic, alive, influencing probability, perception, and even the way reality organizes itself. When coherence is present, synchronicities appear with greater frequency and clarity. They are not random events. They are feedback signals confirming that the body and mind are harmonizing with creation itself. Think of the first green shoots that rise from the soil after seeds have been planted. To the untrained eye, these small sprouts might seem insignificant, too fragile to matter, but to the gardener, they are sacred proof. They show that the soil has changed, that the invisible work beneath the surface is now manifesting in visible light. Synchronicities are like these green shoots. They are the delicate but undeniable signs that your nervous system and the external field are synchronizing. They whisper, your inner soil is different now. And yet, many ignore these whispers. They see the repeated numbers on the clock, the unexpected meeting, the phrase that mirrors their meditation, and they shrug it off. They tell themselves it is only coincidence. too small to matter. In doing so, they dismiss the very proof they have been asked. They overlook the gentle feedback that shows their work is real, that their prayers are not in vain, that their consciousness is truly shaping the rhythm of their days. Perhaps you have felt this doubt. Perhaps you have wondered if your meditations are nothing more than imagination, if your affirmations are empty words spoken into silence. And perhaps at the very moment you were doubting, a synchronicity appeared, an answer, a sign, a mirror, but you dismissed it, thinking it was too small, too ordinary. Yet that was life speaking back to you. That was the universe saying, I am listening, I am responding. Continue. This is the invitation of synchronicity, to see these seemingly small moments as physiological evidence of transformation, not to inflate them into miracles, not to make them heavy with superstition, but to recognize them as mirrors of your progress. Every synchronicity is the body and the universe in conversation, revealing the resonance between your inner state and outer events. And when you honor them, something shifts. The more you acknowledge these signals, the more coherent your field becomes. It is not that the universe suddenly favors, it is that your biology has moved into alignment, and life cannot help but echo that alignment back to you. Synchronicity becomes not just a mystical event, but a practical living proof that belief reprogramming works. It is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, between what you cultivate within and what unfolds around you. So when the signs appear, let them be received with reverence. Let them be reminders that the work is real. The transformation is not a dream, but a living process. Each synchronicity is a green shoot breaking the soil, reminding you that the seed of belief has taken root and that the harvest of your true potential is already on its way. The fatal mistake: using synchronicity to escape responsibility. There is a subtle trap that even the most sincere seekers can fall into. It is the temptation to use synchronicity not as a mirror, not as feedback, but as an escape. When faced with decisions that stir fear, when the path ahead demands courage, it becomes easy to say, I will wait for a sign. And when the sign appears, instead of using it as confirmation of inner alignment, it is used as a substitute for responsibility. The sign becomes the excuse not to act, the shield behind which hesitation hides. On the surface, this can look like faith. A person says, the universe will show me the way. They believe they are surrendering to guidance. But off beneath that surrender lies avoidance. The avoidance of risk, of accountability, of the possibility of making a mistake. And so, synchronicity is no longer treated as biofeedback. It is misused as a way to postpone life. In truth, this is not surrender. It is fear disguised as spirituality. Bruce Lipton's insights remind us that our very cells cannot thrive in uncertainty. Growth requires coherence. Cells need clear signals, a stable environment in which to expand. When indecision dominates, when a person wavers endlessly, the biology remains locked in oscillation, moving back and forth between protection and growth without fully committing to either. This state is exhausting. It weakens the body, confuses the mind, and leads to synchronicities that echo uncertainty rather than clarity. This is why relying on signs to make your choices for you keeps you trapped in the role of a victim. True synchronicity does not replace responsibility. It reflects readiness. It shows the alignment between your inner decision and the outer field, but it cannot decide for you. The universe does not take away your power of choice. To wait for it to do so is to give away the very gift of co-creation. Consider the image of a ship at sea. The wind may shift, the currents may change, but if the sailor refuses to raise the sail, no amount of wind will move the vessel forward. To ask the wind to choose the direction without setting your sail is to surrender not to guidance, but to drift. And so it is with synchronicity. The signs appear, the winds blow, but unless you align with them through choice and action, they remain only whispers carried by the air. Perhaps you have felt this hesitation, the longing for a path, the waiting for confirmation, the quiet hope that life will make the decision for you so you will not have to face the weight of choice. And yet, deep inside, there is also the knowing that freedom does not come through avoidance. It comes through alignment. It comes when the sign meets your action, when synchronicity reflects not hesitation, but a heart willing to move. This is not a call to force or to rush. It is a reminder that responsibility is not a burden. It is empowerment. To choose with awareness is to step into the very flow that synchronicity mirrors. To wait endlessly for life to decide is to stand still while the river moves without you. And in that stillness, signs lose their meaning, for they cannot guide what refuses to move. The fatal mistake, then, is not seeing signs where there are none. It is misusing them to avoid the very decisions that shape destiny. True spirituality does not take away responsibility. It deepens it. It calls you to act from alignment, to choose from coherence, to live as a conscious participant in creation. And when you do, synchronicity transforms. No longer a crutch, it becomes a companion. No longer an excuse, it becomes confirmation. Each sign then becomes not a way to escape responsibility, but a reflection of the responsibility you have already embraced. And in that embrace, the universe ceases to feel distant. You are no longer waiting for it to decide. You are co-creating with it, step by step, choice by choice, breath by breath. Final integration and practice. Now that we have walked through the hidden dimensions of synchronicity, the silence inside you may already feel different. Perhaps you can sense that what once appeared random now carries depth, that what once felt external now reveals itself as a mirror of your own vibration. This is the invitation of synchronicity, not to live as a passive observer of signs, but as a conscious creator whose biology, thoughts, and heart shape the very events that appear on the path. We began with the reminder that synchronicity is not random. It is cellular intelligence in action. It is your subconscious program, your beliefs, your emotions, projecting a pattern into the field and attracting resonance. Bruce Lipton showed us that these programs live in your cell, shaping how reality reorganizes itself around you. Joe Dispenza revealed that coherence between heart and brain creates a measurable electromagnetic field that draws corresponding experiences. Both remind us that synchronicity is not luck, it is feedback. We then uncovered the silent error, the tendency to wait for synchronicity instead of radiating the readiness that calls it forth. We explored how frequency can betray desire when fear or guilt radiate more strongly than intention, causing life to mirror survival instead of creation. We saw how synchronicities repeat themselves when inner scripts remain unchanged, not as destiny, but as feedback loops waiting to be broken. We discovered that every small synchronicity is biofeedback, evidence that belief reprogramming and inner work are real, visible in the unfolding of daily life. And finally, we faced the fatal mistake, the misuse of signs to avoid responsibility, learning that true synchronicity never replaces choice, but reflects the strength of aligned action. If you carry one truth with you from this journey, let it be this: synchronicity is the universe speaking your language back to you. It is the echo of your vibration, the reflection of your coherence, the response to the signals you radiate into light. To change the signs, you must change the song. To transform the message, you must transform the vibration. And yet, this is not a heavy burden. It is a liberation. It means you are not forgotten, not powerless, not at the mercy of chance. You are in dialogue with life at every moment. The numbers, the meeting, the words, the unexpected turns, they are all mirrors, whispering where your consciousness is dwelling, inviting you into alignment with your higher potential. So, let us anchor this truth together in a simple affirmation, one that carries the weight of everything we have shared, yet flows with the lightness of presence. I am aligned. I am ready. I am the frequency of my destiny. Let these words move, not only through your lips, but through your body, through your cell, through the electromagnetic field you radiate. Let them become the vibration you carry into tomorrow. As you step back into the rhythm of your day, notice the mirrors that appear around you. Notice the small signs that reflect your state. Notice the repetitions that reveal your loops. Notice the openings that arise when your inner soil changes. Treat each synchronicity not as an external command, but as a gentle proof that you and the universe are in constant dialogue. And above all, remember this: you are not waiting for the universe. The universe is waiting for you. It is waiting for your readiness, your coherence, your decision. It is waiting to echo back the frequency of your truth. When you radiate presence, it responds. When you radiate fear, it reflects. When you radiate love, it opens. The mirror never lies, but it always invites. So take this with as both comfort and responsibility. The secret connection between synchronicity and your true potential has never been hidden outside it. It has always lived within your biology, your thoughts, your emotion, your vibration. And in this very moment, as you hear these words, you are already shaping the next synchronicity that will appear on your path.